There are serious problems at Liverpool. This is not funny. This is not good for Liverpool. Mo Salah has just had an interview and he has said a number of things that throw a lot of things into a different perspective. So I'm just going to read out some of the things that he said or the summary of what he said, and I'm going to just give my opinions on the whole thing. So he had an interview just after the 3-3 draw against Leeds. And one of the things he said was that he feels thrown under the bus by the club. That is a major statement to make. This is a club legend, so that is a very, very, very big statement to make. But he said that his relationship with the manager has broken down. That he used to have a good relationship with Arne Slot, and all of a sudden there's no relationship, and he doesn't know why. He said that the club has broken some promises that they made to him over the summer when he was linked with his contract extension. So these are major things he's saying. And he actually has suggested a potential exit from the club. That the next game could be his final game or a goodbye. And his family has basically been invited. And this is just the final home game before he goes for AFCON. This is big. This is big. So I'm just going to talk about two things. First, I'm going to address how I think this has gone about. I think I would prefer for things like this to not be so messy, but this is now messy. This is now out in the open, and these are things that you'd want to be solved within the club and not being made public knowledge. And now he has gone ahead and said this. But for him to say this, it means he's feeling something and he has gotten to a point where he feels the need to speak about it. And that's not good. That is not good. This is a legend of the club. And obviously recently he hasn't been playing fantastically well. In fact, the club has not been doing well in general. Liverpool are struggling this season. And Salah has also struggled based on that. Everybody is struggling because of this, because you can see that a player like Isak, a player like Verts is struggling to get into the team properly. Only Sobozlai and Ekitike look like they've hit the ground running, but everybody else looks like they're struggling. So I think you can say that, yeah, he hasn't been playing fantastically well all season, but now to be benched for one game is one thing, to be benched for two games is another thing, and to be benched the third time and then coming out to say that he thinks that some people don't want him at the club anymore, that is major. That is major. Now I will say something. I think that there are too many things happening at the club that makes me think that the players want a change. And I'm saying this because some of the interviews that we've heard, we've seen the players say certain things. This one is just the latest one. We've seen Curtis Jones speaking about how he doesn't understand what's happening. And even at a point, the coach himself said he's confused. And that is scary. He's the last person you want to be hearing say that you're confused. So what's happening? What exactly is going on? And now I think to myself, is the club going to go with Salah? Is the club going to be on Salah's side? Or is the club going to be on the side of the manager? Or who else is involved in this? Because I think maybe one of the directors, maybe somebody who is higher up than the coach, has something to do with this. And push all of that aside, I asked a lot of questions in my head when Arne Slot was employed, because he wasn't the manager, he's the head coach. So I feel like he has been showing poor relationships with the players recently, because I look at a player like Federico Chiesa, I don't understand why he's not starting games. And then Salah's dropping, and the way Salah is saying now that he feels that he doesn't have a good relationship with the coach anymore, that is very, very worrying. And to make all the matters worse, Liverpool are not even playing any good. If Liverpool were playing well and this came out, it's one thing. But Liverpool are playing really badly and this is happening as well. So the question now is, what is going on and what has to happen? For me, I think because of Salah's age, he could actually be the one who has to leave the club. And I don't like that I'm saying this because he's a legend of this club. He has done so much for this club. The fact that he's the fourth top scorer in Premier League history and most of his goals came at Liverpool tells you a lot. It tells you almost everything you need to know. Last season, he was fantastic. Got the most goals, most assists. Was player of the season as well. And guided Liverpool to Liverpool's 20th trophy, 20th league title. So clearly, like, he has some credit in the bank. But Slot, he's been making some funny decisions now, and this is now one of them, and I'm starting to worry. I think he could go, Salah could go, but ultimately, as a Liverpool fan, I just want the club to be better. I don't know what the solution is, and right now I think Slot is having a really terrible time. We don't see any hope. We don't see any glimpse of hope, and I don't see what's going to happen that's going to change the results. And with everything that's happening with Salah now and everything he said, I fear that Salah could be on his way out. He's literally implied it, and this is big. This is major. I don't like the fact that there's been disrespect towards a legend of this club, probably one of the most recognized players when it comes to Liverpool's history. And this is how things look like they're going to end, regardless of whether he's leaving or not. These are his final 2 years at the club, and this could potentially be his final month at the club if he's going to leave. So this is not a nice way to go. It really isn't. And don't get it twisted. He has not had a good game, and I would say that he has not had a good season, and I would say he also needs to improve. I was okay with him being benched, if I'm being completely honest, because what I wanted was for him to get extra motivation to come back into the starting lineup and play better. But for him to say this, it's probably more than what it looks like. And that really, really makes me worried for Liverpool. What's going to happen now, I have no clue. But let's see. But I don't like the disrespect to a club legend like this. And honestly, I think Slot has started to make a number of decisions and a lot of people are tired. But is this actually Slot alone? Is this from somebody who is higher up? Michael Edwards? I don't know, but we shall see. But let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, please share, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.